Greetings ESL 106. This is a video to discuss skill 1. It's called Identifying Claims and Evidence. And I just want to talk with you a little bit about this part in your book. It's something we're going to refer to over and over again as we look at different articles. And I want to make sure you understand what I mean by finding the claim or looking for someone's evidence. So if you would open your book, we're going to start here on page 2 at the very beginning of Unit 1. And I'll show you some ideas about how to identify claims, how to find the evidence, and hopefully make more sense of these ideas and these words. Taking a position is something I want you to think about as far as identifying someone's claim and then supporting that position with information, with evidence, with examples, with data. All of that is what's involved in our discussion today. So let's just talk a little bit about the vocabulary involved in claims and evidence. When I look at page 2 in your book, I find some synonyms for the word claim, right? If I look in that white box at the top of page 2, I can see that they talk to me about making a claim, asserting a thesis, arguing a statement, stating a position. They use all of those expressions to mean the same thing, right? To talk about making a claim. If you flip over to page 4, you'll see that there's actually a chart for you that has what we call signal words, or words that give you the clue that this is talking about a claim, a thesis, a position. And you can see that there are signal words that are verbs, and we have these words like admit or agree. The writer argues or asserts. And then we have signal words that introduce claims that are expressions or phrases. Something like, according to this writer, or there is no doubt that this is true, in the opinion of, in the words of. I want you to be familiar with these expressions. We're going to look for these expressions when we look for a writer's central claim. Well, let's do the same with evidence. Go back to page 2. In that white box, the writer again talks about finding evidence. The writer uses these expressions for synonyms: cites evidence, supports a point of view, points out information, presents findings. All of these are expressions that talk about support or evidence, information or examples. If we go back to page 4 and we look for more signal words or clues that will show us where the author's evidence is, we find again a list of verbs: cites, indicates, she points out, she proves or reveals her position with this data. And then we find more expressions. According to the study, a study found, the evidence shows, it is reported that. All of these are really good expressions that signal to you, here comes some evidence. So hopefully you can see that in this first skill that we're looking at, claims and evidence, we're looking at words, vocabulary, that really help us see where the writer's claim or central idea is and where the writer's evidence or supporting points might be. Let me give you some examples. Here, I might make a claim that says students from all over the world study at Prince George's Community College. If I make that claim, I should back it up with some evidence. And my evidence might be data that I've collected from my class. Here, I give you a chart, spring 2019. Wow, that's already 2 years ago. I had an ESL 106 class, and you can see I had students from Nigeria, from Ethiopia, from Sierra Leone, from Cameroon. I had students from Tanzania, Guatemala, El Salvador, Eritrea. They were from all over the world. And with this data, I can support my main claim or my main idea. Let's look at another example, and this time it's from your book. So look again on page 2, and they give us a few paragraphs. I see that they've put numbers by each sentence. I think there's 5 paragraphs. We're going to look at the first paragraph. It's here. I typed it up. And I want you to look at this for a minute and tell me, first of all, what's the topic? What is this paragraph about? What are some of the words that are standing out to you as the topic for these 5 paragraphs? If you want to pause here, you can. So if you said words like technology or scientists, inventors, specialists, new ideas, the development of new ideas, inventors. These are the topics that this paragraph is about. In fact, we'll see that all 5 paragraphs are talking about technology and the people, the inventors, the scientists that are developing new ideas, the inventors themselves. But if I look again at these 3 sentences, this is the first paragraph, I might ask you, what is the writer's central claim? What is the writer trying to tell us here about technology, about scientists, about inventors? See if you can underline it or highlight it. The main idea. So there are several main ideas that are coming out. And I see that in the first sentence, the writer is talking about new forms of technology have made a great impact on society. Okay, that's a claim, a main idea, talking about something that's changed society, that's impacted society. In sentence 2, we find out inventors and scientists have helped improve many aspects of our lives. And I see that we get some evidence, we get some examples: travel, communication, medicine, engineering, business. The writer wants to help us get the support we might need to understand the writer's claim. However, and we come now to sentence 3, where I think we really find the main idea of the next 5 paragraphs. So let's read this sentence carefully. However, where these specialists work plays a role that is just as important to the development of new ideas as the inventors themselves. This sentence introduces an idea with the word where, and it's really talking about the location, the cities, the places where these inventors are working is an important component of their success, of their development of these new ideas, just as important as their own intelligence or their own hard work. Well, let's go on. We have some interesting ideas, claims. Let's see if this writer gives us any evidence. In the next paragraph, we have a sentence that starts with cities like San Francisco or Boston attract large numbers of engineers and computer scientists. So the writer wants to go on and give us examples of places that are attracting people to come and live and work in technology, tech-related careers. look at this paragraph, guys. And it's a short paragraph. I want you to show me, do you see any of our signal words? So again, on page 4, we had a list of signal words, words that would show us the claim or the evidence that this writer wants to use in order to support the thesis that the location is really important. Where are some signal words in that paragraph? So if you see it is reported that, you got it. That's the signal word this writer used to introduce data, to introduce evidence, to support, right, the writer's position that location is important, working in 2 specific areas. Here, let's look again at the next paragraph. And now I've moved to page 3. You can see here's another paragraph with more data, more examples. Where do you see signal words? These are signal words that might show me a claim or it might show me evidence. Signal words that come from page 4, the list that we looked at. If you saw these, you're right. This writer uses according to and brings in an expert, right? According to expert Enrico Morietti, just to show us in his book, he agrees with our writer's main claim. Places like Silicon Valley are brain hubs, central locations where great numbers of scientists, engineers, and innovators meet and work. This is our writer's argument, that the location is important. We also have this signal word. Morietti states that, and we're getting more of his information, his central claim. Workers in these fields generate 5 times more local jobs than other industries, talking about the importance of these technology jobs. Let's keep going. I'm in the next paragraph, and you'll see some more signal words. Which ones can you highlight in this paragraph that show claims or that show evidence? If you see analyzes, that's a good one. And you can see that is on the list here in 4, on page 4, when we get to the idea that, actually, I don't see it on page 4, but it's a good one when we get to the idea of looking at data. Morietti analyzes one of the fundamental aspects of future job growth, right? And then we get his data. He claims that. Here's another good signal word. And in one report, statistics show that. I want you to see all of these as the clues that are pointing you towards the support. Last paragraph, back on page 3. In this last paragraph, I really get a restatement of my main idea. So we agreed the main idea of these 5 paragraphs is about where these specialists work. And I get that main idea, that central claim, restated here in this last paragraph. Brain hubs play an important role in bringing together a diverse group of well-educated scientists and creative thinkers. These places have lasting effects. So we're talking about brain hubs, places, being really important. All right, guys, what I want you to do is to keep thinking about this idea of claims and evidence, main ideas and support. As you take a look in your book at the first article that you're going to read, your reading assignment for this week takes you to page 18.